May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke audio podcast. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable, free from economic hardship, and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the limitations of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So today we're going to have the entire lecture that Shunryu Suzuki gave on the 30th of July, 1965 in a session in San Francisco. First I'll play myself reading it, and then you can hear him saying it. Some of it's a little hard to hear, and some of it you'll be able to hear, but just settle back and let the vibe sink in. And sorry about the quality of the audio. I think I said yesterday that today would be the last podcast before I begin the retreat to finish Thank You and Okay. No, to finish Tassara Stories. The early years with Shunryu Suzuki. But I was wrong. Tomorrow will be the last day. So, I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. We'll see. So anyway, here goes the lecture. I have to give the conclusion to my talk for this session. The science or philosophy is like a dissection. It is possible to analyze what we did after we did something, but it is already a dead corpse. A dead corpse of our practice. So even though you analyze what you have done, it will not work. It will not help you so much. It is nearly the same as to count your lost child's age. So we cannot help counting our lost boy's age. It is our nature, but actually it will not help so much. So the most important thing is to understand our true mind, or inmost nature in our practice. How we understand our actual mind is the most important point, should be the most important point. That is why Zen emphasizes to live on each moment. Bodhidharma, the first patriarch of Chinese Zen, he's the 28th patriarch from Buddha, and in China he's the first patriarch. He said, if you want to see a fish, before you see a fish, you have to watch water. So do you understand? If you want to see a fish, you have to watch water before you see the fish. If you want to see Buddha nature, you have to see your small mind before you see Buddha nature. Actually, when you see water, there is the true fish. Don't you think so? Here by fish, he meant true nature. And if you want to see true nature, when you see the water, there is true nature. The true nature is watching water. You are watching water. At the same time, true nature is watching water. As Descartes says, I think, therefore I am. What does it mean? Here, therefore I am. That I is not just small mind. He could not deny that I, which thinks, which watches water, that someone who is watching, you, who is watching water, is true nature itself. You think fish is true nature, but it is not true nature. You are watching water, and that you cannot be denied. That is ultimate existence, and at the same time, that is universal existence. That is your I, and at the same time, it includes everything. Anyway, when you watch water, there is actually fish in the water. Before you see the fish, there is fish. Before you see Buddha nature, you see your mind. You watch your mind. When you watch your mind, when you say, my zazen is very poor zazen, here you have true nature. But you fail to realize, do not realize that is true nature. You ignore it on purpose. This is a silly mistake. There is immense importance in the I when you watch your mind. That I is not a dead eye. That I is always incessant activity. That I is always acting. That I is always swimming. That I is always flying through the vast air with wings. Here, by wing, I mean thinking and various activity. That I is flying through the sky. In this case, the vast sky is his home, is my home. There is no bird or no air. Air and bird is one. So Dogen Zenji says, bird flies like a bird, fish swims like a fish. Water is his home. And when she swims, when it swims in the water, it is water. And a fish is nothing but a fish. All the water belongs to him. And when he can swim everywhere, it means he can think. That thinking is right thinking. Logical thinking after you did something or analytical thinking is not true thinking. So in your practice, whether or not that practice is good or bad, perfect or imperfect, when this kind of mind is at work, your practice is practice of enlightenment. Your practice includes everything, within and without. The whole world is your home, and everything belongs to you. So that you can understand this short statement, fish swims like a fish, bird flies like a bird. I did not deny, but I explained what is logic, what is philosophy, what is science, because you are firmly believing scientific truth and you are caught by the scientific way of life. You have no idea what is true mind. You are always watching the shadow, chasing after the shadow of the mind. Philosophical interpretation or psychological interpretation of your mind is just a shadow of the mind, and you firmly believe in it. So you mistake enlightenment for drugs, LSD. If the sixth patriarch were here, what he would say, with such people I cannot talk, he may say. We have a shadow. It's inevitable to have a shadow for us, but to try to step on your shadow is impossible. How can you catch your shadow? If you try to step on your shadow, the shadow will be ahead of you. If you go one step behind, the shadow will be one step behind you. It is impossible. It is foolish to think future or past. Why don't you catch yourself in this moment? When you are doing something, you are there. You are too much attached to visible things. So when the second Chinese patriarch saw Bodhidharma and confessed his shameful mind, Bodhidharma said, "Bring me your shameful mind. Catch the shameful mind." And Eka said that he said, I cannot catch it. And of course, no one can catch it. If you try to catch it, that is a shadow, you know. How can you catch the shadow of your hand? So he said, I cannot catch it. And Bodhidharma said, the confession is over. So accurate. What they point out is so accurate. You cannot move back and forth. There is no need even to read one page of a book. There is no need even to listen to it. It is here. Before fish comes, there is fish. In the Sandokai, it said, before the night it has gone, the dawn is here. When you're waiting for the dawn is here. You are there, right there. Your true mind is that, right there. When you're wondering, the true mind is right there. When you're suffering, the true mind is right there with suffering. Science cannot solve this problem, even vivisectors. The true activity will stop. True activity of your mind is no more. So if you do not catch it, when you are active, how can you catch it? And there is a way to catch it. That is our practice. That is sesshin. Shin is mind. To catch our true mind is sesshin. The mind cannot be caught by thinking, mind, or feeling. It is too late. So moment after moment, to watch your breathing, to watch your posture, is to dwell on your true nature. There is no secret beside this point.
I have to give the conclusion to my talk for this session. The science or philosophy is like this section. It is possible to analyze what we did after we did something. It is possible. But it is already dead scope of our practice. So even though you analyze what you have done, it will not work. It will not help you so much. It is nearly the same to count your lost child age. So we cannot help counting our lost boy's age. It is our nature, but actually it will not help so much. So the most important thing is to understand our true mind or inmost nature in our practice. How we understand our actual mind is the most important point. Should be the most important point. And that is why Zen emphasizes to live on each moment. Bodhidharma said, the first patriarch of Chinese patriarch, he is 28th patriarch from Buddha. And in China, he is the first patriarch. And he said, if you want to see a fish, before you see a fish, you have to watch water. Do you understand? If you want to see a fish, you have to watch water before you see the fish. If you want to see the Buddha nature, you have to see your small mind before you see Buddha nature. Actually, when you see water, there is true fish. Don't you think so? Here, by fish, he meant true nature. If you want to see the true nature, when you see the water, there is true nature. The true nature is watching water. You are watching water. At the same time, true nature is watching water. As Descartes says, I think, therefore I am. What does it mean? Here, I. Therefore I am. That I is not just small mind. He could not deny that I, which thinks, which watch water, that someone who is watching, you who is watching water, is true nature itself. You think fish is true nature, but that is not true nature. You are watching water. And that you cannot be denied. That is ultimate existence. And at the same time, that is universal existence. That is you are, and at the same time, it includes everything. Anyway, when you watch water, there is actual fish is in the water. Before you see the fish, there is fish. Before you see the Buddha nature, you see your mind. You watch your mind. When you watch your mind, when you say, mind doesn't is painful, here you have true nature. But you do not realize that is true nature. You ignore it on purpose. This is a silly mistake. There's immense importance in the eye when you watch your mind. That eye is not dead eye. That eye is always incessant activity. That eye is always acting. That eye is always swimming. That eye is always flying through the vast air with wings. Here I mean by wing, thinking and various activities. That eye is flying through the vast sky. In this case, the vast sky is his home, is my home. There's no bird or no air. Air and bird is one. So Dogen Zen says, bird flies like a bird, fish swims like a fish. Water is his heart. And when it swims in the water, it is a fish. There is nothing but fish. All the water belongs to him. And when he can swim everywhere, it means he can think. That thinking is right thinking. Logical thinking, after you did something, or analytical thinking, is not true thinking. So, in your practice, whether or not that practice is good or bad, perfect or imperfect, when this kind of mind is at work, your practice is practice of enlightenment. Your practice includes everything, within and without. Whole world is your home, and everything belongs to you. So that you can understand this short statement, fish swims like a fish, bird flies like a bird. I not denied, but I explained what is logic, what is philosophy, what is science. Because you are firmly believe in scientific truth, and you are caught by scientific way of life. You have no idea of what is true mind. You are always watching shadow of the, chasing after the shadow of the mind. Philosophical interpretation or psychological interpretation of your mind is just a shadow of the mind, and you are firmly believing it. So you mistake enlightenment for drugs, LSD. If the sixth Patriarch is here, what he will say? With such people, I cannot talk. We have shadow. It is inevitable to have shadow for us. But to try to step on your shadow is impossible. How can you catch your shadow? If you try to step your shadow, shadow will be ahead of you. If you go one step behind, shadow one step behind of you, it is impossible. It is foolish to think future or past. Why don't you catch yourself in this moment? When you are doing something, you are there. You are too much attached to visible things. So, when the second Chinese Patriarch sees Bodhidharma and confesses his sinful mind, he said, bring me a sinful mind. Catch the sinful mind. He said, I cannot catch it. Of course, no one can catch it. If you try to catch it, that is shadow, How can you catch the shadow of your hand? So he said, I cannot catch it. And Bodhidharma said, the confession is over. So accurate. What they point out is so accurate. You cannot move back and forth. There is no need even to read one page of book. There is no need even to listen to it. It is here. Before a fish comes, there is fish. In Sandokai said, before the night has gone, the dawn is here. When you're waiting for dawn, dawn is here. You are there, right there. Your true mind is right there. When you're wandering, the true mind is right there. When you are suffering, the true mind is right there with suffering. Science cannot solve this problem. Even vivisection. The true activity is stop. True activity of your life is no more. So, if you do not catch it, when you are active, how can you catch it? And there is a way to catch it. That is our practice. That is the Shin. Shin is mind. To catch our true mind is the Shin. This mind cannot be caught by thinking. Thinking mind or feeling. It is too late. So moment after moment, to watch your breathing, to watch your posture, is to dwell on your true nature. There's no secret besides this point.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Listen, if you're of such a mind, you can help Cuke Archives continue to soldier on by going to cuke.com, cuke.com, hitting the donate button and going to that page, and you can send a little donation or a big donation through PayPal or with a check. You can become a PayPal subscriber for as little as $1 a month. And we'd really appreciate it because it helps to keep us going. So until next time, this is DC, Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur with Doggy Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.